They're trying to stop them from doing the research to find out what is causing autism, which was 1 in 10,000 when I was a kid. Now it's 1 in 31 in California. Come see me on tour in Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco, Irvine. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. This is from Reuters. Kennedy to link Tylenol use and pregnancy to autism. Who says that? A report says that. Let's listen. U.S. Health Secretary RFK plans to announce that the use of Kenvu's, KVUNE.N, opens popular over-the-counter pain medication, Tylenol, in pregnant women is potentially linked to autism. Contrary to medical guidelines that say it's safe to use, the Wall Street Journal reported Friday, citing people familiar with the matter. Kennedy, in the report, will also suggest a medicine derived from folate called fulinic acid can be used to treat symptoms of autism in some people, the Wall Street Journal reported. Shares of Kenvu fell 14% after the report. So I guess Kenvu makes Tylenol. Did you hear this, Kurt?
I remember the Tylenol thing a long time ago we talked about. In fact, I forgot about it.
Yeah, so their shares, the people who make Tylenol, their shares fell. Go back to this. Tylenol, whose active ingredient is acetaminophen, is widely used pain reliever, including by pregnant women. Kenvu said in a statement that it believes there's no causal link between the people who make it say it's good for you. The company advises expecting mothers to speak to healthcare professionals before taking over-the-counter medications, including Tylenol. Under Kennedy, the National Institutes of Health is running an autism data science initiative that aims to mine large data sets to investigate possible contributors to autism and evaluate the outcomes of existing treatments. They don't want him to do that. They don't want RFK to look into the data, the metadata, to see if what is causing autism. They don't want him to do that. That's what's happening right now in your government, and that's why big pharmaceutical companies have launched a secret plan to get the people that they bought off in Congress to try to get RFK fired. That's what's happening right now.
Why wouldn't they pin it on Tylenol? I remember hearing the Tylenol thing, and I completely forgot about it. We talked about it on the show before. So if I'm in the vaccine, hey, it's not a vaccine, it's Tylenol. Why wouldn't you try to do that? Or they all own the same thing?
Researchers have submitted more than 100 proposals to participate in the $50 million study, with a list of up to 25 grant winners expected to be announced by the end of September, people with knowledge of the plan. So he's doing this. So RFK is going to put $50 million, and he's going to hire several different people, 25 grant winners, to do their own studies, to go and look and see if Tylenol is causing autism in pregnant women who take Tylenol. They don't want him to do that. That's what this is. So all this stuff, when you saw Bernie Sanders screaming about RFK and Elizabeth Warren screaming all of them screaming at RFK because he wants to do science. That's all he wants to do. They're not arguing with his results. They're arguing with the fact that they don't want him doing research. Remember that? Don't do your own research? Well, now they don't even want the researchers to do their own research. That's what's happening.
Nothing suspicious about that, Jimmy. You sound like a conspiracy nut.
The Wall Street Journal said that a report is likely to highlight how levels of folate, an important vitamin, and Tylenol taken during pregnancy could be a potential cause of autism. What's striking to me is that this report is supposed to uncover all these new causes, and so far, all we're learning is that they're rehashing existing research. So why do you care then? Why do you care if it's already out, if the research is already out there? Why would you care?
Because we brainwash everyone to think Tylenol is not poison. Said Dr. And now you're going to undo it.
Said Dr. David Mandel, a professor of psychiatry and autism expert at the University of Pennsylvania. Well, if you're an autism expert, what's causing it? You don't know. But you don't want people to even look into it, do you? No, he doesn't, because he's also corrupt. Dr. David Mandel, an also corrupt garbage person. We have no understanding of why there might be a biological reason that Tylenol would cause autism. And we certainly don't want to look into it. Whatever you do, don't look into it. In December of 2023, the U.S. federal judge struck down a blow to hundreds of lawsuits claiming Tylenol can cause autism if mothers take it during pregnancy, barring expert witnesses from testifying.
Well, you don't want experts involved.
You don't want experts. After the judge said they lack scientific evidence for their claims. Last August, citing that ruling, the judge dismissed all the cases in federal court. A U.S. appeals court is slated to hear arguments next month in an appeal of that ruling. So they don't want this. They don't want anybody doing research into the cause of autism. The CHD, which is the Children's Health Defense, has cited a study published in August that found evidence of an association between the use of acetaminophen, Tylenol, by pregnant women and neurodevelopment disorders such as autism in their offspring. There was a study published in August that connected the use of Tylenol by pregnant women and neurodevelopment disorders such as autism. There's already a study published in August. The scientists recommended medical guidelines advise the pregnant women use the lowest possible dose for the shortest time needed. They noted that more studies were required to confirm any association and that failure to treat fever in pregnant women could lead to other fetal problems such as neural tube defects. So we need to study it. We need to do research. And they don't even want RFK to do the research into what is causing autism.
That would be bad.
That would be bad thing.
That would be like looking into Epstein. It's not good for anyone.
That would be bad. That would be bad thing.
He's dead now.
I never met Donald Trump before he was elected. There was a thing during the election where he and I were at the same place, and I avoided him. Anyway, then he got elected, and so I went to see him in December. He asked me if vaccines weren't a bad thing, because he was considering a commission to look into ill effects of vaccines. And
Trump was listening to RFK and was looking into a commission to look into the side effects of vaccines. And what were we going to find out that you're afraid of, Bill? Well,
and somebody, his name is Robert Kennedy Jr., was advising him that vaccines were causing bad things. And I said, no, that's a dead end. That would be a bad thing. Don't do that.
That would be bad thing. Don't look into it. So nobody wants RFK Jr. to look into if vaccines or Tylenol or whatever it is that's causing autism. Nobody wants him to look into it, including Bill Gates. They told you don't do your own research. They don't even want the researchers to do their own research. That's how bad it's gotten now. Even researchers can't do their own research. Just keep that in mind.
But Jimmy, when Trump flew Rogan out, and I think Theo at some point, just before they did the Epstein cover-up, that's what Trump was doing. He had Bobby Kennedy like, hey, you think vaccines are good? He was trying to butter up Joe Rogan and not talk about Epstein too much.
Yeah.
This was right the same, but meanwhile, Bill Gates like, nah, that's a dead end.
It's a dead end. That'd be a bad thing. Wouldn't that be a great thing if you had a vaccine commission? Because they would find out that vaccines are safe and effective, and then everybody would be more confident in taking vaccines, and you would give your kid 72 shots before he's 18. You would give your kid a hepatitis B vaccine the moment they're born. So what's the problem? Oh, you would find, maybe you're afraid they would find out that we've been lied to about vaccines, that they never were actually safety tested the way people thought they were. They were never tested against a placebo. They were never tested. What happens if you give a kid 6 vaccines at once or 72 before they're 18? They never did. They never had a control group of people who didn't take vaccines and people who did. They never did that. They never did that. They never even did that for COVID. There was a control group, people who didn't take the vaccine, and then they vaccinated all of them. So it wrecked their study on purpose. Because what they didn't want to have was people who were unvaccinated from COVID compared to people who were vaccinated from COVID. They did not want that. So they ruined their own study and they vaccinated the control group. So the point of this is nobody wants the researchers to do their own research. The people appointed to do the research, they're trying to stop them from doing the research to find out what is causing autism, which was 1 in 10,000 when I was a kid. Now it's 1 in 31 in California. 1 in every 31 kids has autism in California.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not intentional though.
Yeah. And these are the people that Trump is buddying up to now. Okay. And if you'd like to hear my jokes about Bill Gates, I've got a ton of them, you can come see me in Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, and San Francisco. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets, and only jimmydore.com. Now see me on tour in Appleton, Wisconsin, Rosemont, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, Louisville, Fort Wayne, Hermosa Beach, Sacramento, San Francisco, Irvine. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.